I left teaching college and graduate level architecture classes after 12 years because I just don't know what the future of higher education is when you're charging super high tuition while you're also building fancy new buildings and paying coaches huge salaries. You can't do all of those things. You can't be punishing kids while building fancy new facilities and also paying coaches. I understand the economics of that, football programs make money, but how can you justify paying exorbitant salaries, building the fanciest new buildings, and then just putting it on the kids? Who's going to go to school? And the answer is people with the money to pay it. So that doesn't seem like a great plan. I describe it as smart people making dumb decisions at the university level, because what it's doing is it's really sort of weeding out people who don't have the finances to just sort of the luxury of going to school. And so what I suspect is going to happen, and what we're already seeing happen, is that there's going to be more sort of technical options, sort of trade schools or community colleges like they have for nursing and other sort of licensing programs, things that need a license to practice. Architects need a license to say you're an actual architect. There's probably going to be cheaper ways to do that, faster ways to do that, because people like me, frankly, who, if I was going to college, 25 years ago today, I don't know where I would be able to afford to go. It probably more of an in-state school. I was fortunate to be able to go out of state, leaving New England for Colorado, which was a stretch for my family, just very middle-class family. But, today it's a totally different thing. And so it just seems like people are making bad decisions at the university level, and inevitably other options are going to be popping up, as we're already seeing. And even in a Wall Street Journal article, they were just saying how they're taking in at companies like Google and some of these higher performing companies, they're not requiring degrees anymore. And it makes perfect sense to me, because why would you be selecting from only wealthy kids who can go to university? And guess what? That makes the pool of university kids all self-selecting in that category as well. And sure, there might be scholarships and there might be other things that the university can do, but then you're effectively taking out the middle. You're sort of having this donut of like people who are on scholarship or getting enough support, maybe just enough support to actually afford to go, and then people who can afford to go with no problem and probably may or may not need a job anyway. And you know what? Like, I don't care. That's everybody's situation is different, and that's perfectly fine. I'm just concerned about my own situation and my own family's situation. But as a profession, as a higher education, as someone, for me, who was involved in higher education, it's gross and it's not cool. And you have a lot of aging faculty. I've always thought the term professor in practice was the most appealing, because it means you're actually doing work. You're not just sort of teaching the same class. And frankly, as much as I enjoyed teaching classes a few times, over and over, that was my form of research. And really now I treat these videos as my form of research. This is my writing, my videos, these are all my way of being involved in education without actually needing to be on a university campus in that environment. So the future of higher education, I do think, has some real questions that need to be answered. People are already stepping in to fill the gap with some of these more technical or license-oriented programs, and that's probably going to continue. For things like architecture, where that interaction is so critical, it's going to be tough. And that's why I hope we can do a better job at it. But for now, this is where you'll find me, not like for the last 12 years on a university campus, which I love those jobs. I love the people I work with. I love the students. My whole career is what it is because of some very, very special teachers that changed my life without any hyperbole, and as cheesy as you want to make it. They changed my life, and I love them for it. And if I could have any degree of influence or spark for any kids, that's what I was trying to do. And so hopefully that's coming through in some of this. If it's helpful for you, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you at the next one.